There's so much in the Bible about making peace. And of course, the ultimate example of making peace is the gospel itself. That while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. God was the initiator. And so the gospel really provides both the model, the motive, and the method for how we make peace. The motive is love of Christ, love to live out the gospel in the lives of other people, that people would see such a transformation in us that they would wonder what is going on in you that would cause you to go and speak to someone who treated you so terribly. How could you forgive someone who did that? How could you humble yourself and admit you're wrong when he did something so much worse? And true, authentic peacemaking displays the transforming of God in our lives. So, number one is understanding the model that we have in Christ. And the method is that we see God is the initiator. He moves toward people to seek reconciliation. He doesn't wait for them to come toward us. And that's so different from the average person, because our human tendency is to say that, well, I'm in a conflict with so-and-so, and I know I'm not perfect. I'm at least 30% to blame, and that means that he must be 70% to blame, and that reduces down to 0-40. And the other person always has a net deficit, and then we just think, since he's more wrong than me, he's the one that should come to me. And so that's our human response. But we look at, again, the gospel, Romans 5, while we were yet sinners. We were 100% guilty, Jesus 100% innocent, and yet he moved toward us. He moved toward us to be reconciled. And so there's a method, is moving toward people, showing compassion, showing a willingness and actually an eagerness and a desire to forgive and reconcile. The other principles we could look at on peacemaking in what we've done in our ministry is organize them into 4 broad categories. To glorify God, that my main motive in making peace is, how do I draw attention to the excellence of God? How do I show his work in me, his character in me, and the power of the gospel in me? Secondly is get the log out of your own eye. How do I take responsibility for my contribution to this conflict before I try to point out to the other person what he did wrong? Now that's just the opposite of what I want to do. I always want to focus on the other person. But again, that shows God's work in our lives. And the third thing is to gently restore. How do I go to the other person? Paul talks about this in Galatians 6. When there's a conflict, he says, those who are spiritual should go and restore the brother gently. So how can I go to a brother who I think has done something wrong, but how can I approach him in a way that's not going to put him on the defensive, but actually help him to see that, and ideally at the end of it, where he'd actually say, thank you. I was blind to this. You've really helped me with this. This is going to help me to grow. Can we approach people with that kind of gentleness? And the main thing there is they sense our heart. If I'm coming to shift the blame to him and make him look worse, he's going to be naturally defensive. But if he senses I'm there because I love him and I care about him, people pick up on that. They sense that motive. The fourth G is to go and be reconciled. How do we actually engage each other in a way that we can resolve the substantive issue, whatever it is we've got a difference on, and the personal issues where we've offended each other, and truly forgive each other and come up with an agreement on whatever the issues are, that we both say, that's fair, that's just. I think that's a good solution. And I'm restored to you. We're reconciled, we're forgiven. We will continue in our friendship, our business arrangement, our being elders on the church council together and work together with respect and courtesy. So glorify God, get the log out of your own eye, gently restore, go and be reconciled. That would be a broad theology for peacemaking.